Can I ask you a question about demographics? Because one of the one of the real characteristics of the UKIP, Brexit Party, Reform Party vote, they're all the same party, they just keep changing the name, in the UK, is that it's quite an old vote, an older electorate. And parties of the, I want to be careful about the word far right in a UK context, but parties that are in over in that direction have had very little youth appeal in the UK. That could easily change, but that's where we are at the moment. That, I think it's fair to say, but I'd like to know what you think about this, is less true in Europe, and the far right is quite attractive to younger voters. Um, and I was wondering, well, I guess three things. One, is that right as a broad generalization? Two, why is that? And three, what sort of strategies are being adopted to try and deal with it?
Right. So I think on the one hand, there is no uniform European picture,
Yeah.
but you can say that far right parties do draw in more of the youth vote or have done in this election. I think there were a lot of reports, articles ahead of the election about the appeal for the far right, and and I think it's clear in many countries, not in all countries that are covered, but it's clear in many countries that young people have started voting for far right parties. I think at the same time you have to look at this trend comparatively, because I think in most cases they are just catching up to the average voter.
Mhm.
So in that sense, young people used to vote more liberal or more progressive in most cases. I think the big green victories 5 years ago in the European Parliament, those were in large part thanks to this youth vote. And what we are seeing right now is that young voters are more similar to the average voter in many countries. But on average, I think, although I haven't seen comparative research, but on average, it seems they are still quite similar to middle-aged and old voters. Um, and so the other thing about why they are shifting to the right, again, on that, it's I would say it's similar to the reasons behind other voters'
Mhm.
preferences. We also see women, which used to vote somewhat more progressive, shift more to the right. And I think it's partly the long tail of COVID, of the war, and the energy crisis.
Mhm.
These haven't really been addressed. And then partly perhaps on the European level, there's been a backlash against the Green Deal, and that migration still is a divisive issue.